So I wanted to review the movie Single Black Female that is available on Lifetime. Yeah, I think that's where I saw it. So I saw this movie recently and I have thoughts on it because I rarely see black led thrillers, like thrillers that starring a large black cast. It's usually white actors in a thriller whenever I see a thriller. So I really love it when I get to see that. And there's not too many of them, so. But usually if black people are in a thriller, we're like the cop or the best friend, but where it seems that Hollywood likes to suppress us to servant or those type of roles if we're going to be in the thriller. We're not the central part of the plot in a thriller, So, and it also seems like when it comes to black actors, I'm not an actor. Why did I say we're? But with black actors and just black films, we are given we can do a rom-com all day long. They'll let us do that in Hollywood. Or we definitely can do something involving drugs and crime. Like, I feel like those are the areas that Hollywood is like, okay, you can be over here and continue to perpetuate those stereotypes, but everything else will lead to the white people. Okay. But yeah, so Single Black Female stars many familiar faces. So actually, some of them weren't familiar to me. Maybe they are familiar, but some of them weren't familiar to me. So there's Janet Hubert from Fresh Prince. I drew a blank there. Okay, so she is known for playing Vivian on Fresh Prince, the mother. Well, no, not the mother, the Aunt Viv. So she was the original Aunt Viv before they replaced her. And so she is the mother in this movie to Raven Goodwin's character. Raven Goodwin is not someone I am familiar with, but she plays Monica. And then you have K. Michelle. She plays the best friend. I was impressed with K. Michelle's acting skills. I think she did a good job. And then you have Amber Riley, an accomplished actress who plays Simone. All right. And then it's a predominantly black cast. So what is this about? The premise is Monica, played by Raven Goodwin. No, I'm sorry. Amber Riley's character, Simone. She is the new girl in town, and she gets this position I think she's an assistant or something like that, to a talk show host. And she, like I said, she's the new girl in town, and because it's a thriller, you should be suspicious of her just immediately. She's the new girl in town. Why is she new in town? So she gets this job, and she gets a little too close to her boss, Monica, played by Raven Goodwin. So Monica's on the naive side, because what is her name? I can't keep up with these names. So Simone gets way too close. She gets first of all, she gets the job, and then she makes her admiration known to Monica, which is by itself fine. But then she gets the apartment next door. So it's like next door to her boss, okay? So you're like, okay. And then Monica's best friend, played by K. Michelle. K. Michelle is just like, she is zoomed in on this chick. Like, why does she get this apartment next door? And then she's like, well, everyone knew that the older woman who lived next door didn't want any tenants, and she just was an elderly woman who kept to herself. But Simone is trying to tell them that, the elderly woman wanted to rent out this space. And then all of a sudden, the elderly woman just vanishes. So the best friend is not buying her story. Okay. And she is suspicious of Simone. So as the story goes on, I kind of picked up on where this story was going. I'm not going to say, I don't want to spoil it, but I mean, it's Lifetime. They're not Oscar material. Okay. So it's a nice little Saturday afternoon kind of a movie. But again, it's Lifetime. I do think the acting in here was pretty good. I think the premise was good. I really liked that. And the ending I really liked because, oh my goodness, I was shocked to see that ending, and it got physical. I was like, and it looked like they were doing their own stunts. So yeah, I was impressed with that. I think they did a great job. I was impressed with how they resolved it, but I'm not going to tell you what what goes on and why she's new in town. But just if you know the single white female story, then it is similar to that. And yeah, I think they did a great job. I really enjoyed the film. And the director was a woman, Sherry L. Carpenter. I'm not familiar with her work, but the way the performances she got out of the actors, I think, was great. That's just my opinion. And then it's interesting how we talk about the dumb white girl trope, but we don't acknowledge that the dumb white girl is because of racist ideals. You know, like they wouldn't give a leading role to a Black person in most cases. So in Hollywood, if you look at older movies, even now, we're still dealing with that today. Darker skinned people, I should say, because it's not just Black people, but Asian people, people of Spanish descent, just darker skinned people. They wouldn't get leading roles in movies. So when we say dumb white girl, it's because of racism, but we fail to acknowledge that when we're laughing about the dumb white girl. I was happy to see it because I'm like, we want to be the dumb Black girl. We actually want to be the dumb Black girl. In a movie, okay, not in real life, but in a movie, we would like to have the opportunity, okay, to be the dumb Black girl, okay? So I do think Monica's character was the dumb Black girl, okay? She definitely was dumb and naive, but I get it was intentional. So it was the dumb Black girl because you want the movie to be made, right? So the movie wouldn't go so far, unless she had to be a little bit naive. So Monica was quite naive of a character, I would say. But when she finally figured stuff out, things got moving pretty quickly after that. She wasn't, I will say she was dumb for for most of the movie, but she wasn't the kind of dumb that just was adamantly dumb. Sometimes someone will warn you about a person and then the person was being warned and they'll just keep going. And, oh, no, she wasn't. Once she started to see things happening, she was like, okay, my best friend knows what she's talking about. And then K. Michelle, she really was a ride or die friend. So I really liked that showing in the movie. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I'm happy it is out there. I'm glad we get to be the single Black female, But yeah, those are my thoughts, and I wanted to talk about it. So that is it. That's my opinion. Thank you, and I will catch you next time, hopefully in the next one.